And hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kaz Has. My name is Kazvon, and this is Shovel Knight by Yacht Club Games. This is the game that was kickstarted. I think they asked for... I don't remember how much they asked for, but I know they ended up getting like $300,000 when they only really needed like $40,000 or something. But it's... Spoilers, this game's awesome. So it's made in the NES style. They try and stay as true to the regular Nintendo, the original Nintendo, as much as possible. And I'm going to talk about some of that, but first I want to show just basically the beginning of the game. Here's the profile select, basically your save select, which is pretty neat. I already have a save going on here. I'm just going to start from the beginning because I don't want to really spoil anything. There's not really a whole lot to spoil. But if I'm going to spoil any secrets, I'm just going to do it in the tutorial section. And here we go. Yes, that profile. So, some of the things they did to make sure that... Oh man, the art is so good. Some of the things they did to make sure that this was true to the NES style was... in a 1920 by 1080 resolution screen. The pixels are drawn so every pixel is equal to 4 lines of resolution vertical, so you actually have 240 lines of resolution, which is 100% true to the NES. So the vertical resolution of the screen is exactly the same. I'm just going to skip the cutscene. But they did add the widescreen, so it allows for more awareness left and right, which I kind of appreciate. It allows for more secrets and stuff too. But the basic mechanic is you are a knight, and you have a shovel, and that is your only weapon. You do get spells. I don't have any as of yet, but we'll get one probably before the end of this. And you also have a Scrooge McDuck DuckTales kind of pogo thing going on. You can do a downward attack on pretty much anything, whoop, like so. But another thing they did to make sure that it was true to an NES is that the color palette is 100% true to the NES. With some exceptions. The NES had 54 different colors in its palette, and it was heavily tended towards the blues. Mega Man famously used to be red in the original design document, but in the game they made him blue because there just weren't enough shades of red to make him look good. In this they add a couple shades. I think it's 4 colors in total. One is just for like one particular character's like clothes. One is a shade between black and red, like kind of a maroony, kind of a maroon color, just to add some shading. And that's pretty much it. They just added some like gradation colors just to make things look, just to pop a little bit more. Their goal was to make this. Their goal was basically what would happen if people kept designing games for the NES. And this feels a lot like an NES game. A is jump. You do left, right on the D-pad to move left and right. Is this a secret? No. When you jump in the air, you hit down to do the downward strike, and to cast spells, you hold up and hit X. You can also attack with the B button, but I don't really do that. Oh, here's a dragon. So if you hit an enemy during a downward attack, you just keep bouncing. You don't have to keep holding down or anything. You just have to use left and right to kind of like steady yourself. And that right there is a really good game design thing. This whole thing is a tutorial level, and they teach you every single mechanic of the game before you even get out of the tutorial, which is really good. That's how Mega Man used to do it, man. They would teach you everything about the game before you even got into the real game. And throughout the level, you'll see this little mark on the wall here. That means there's a secret. You can gain more monies. And right there, teaches you there's secret walls, and there's a lot of secret walls. The thing that they improve on with NES games is that there's no... The way the lives work is that you don't have limited lives for no reason, because that's pretty much what it came down to in NES games, was you had a certain number of lives, but it really didn't matter. It was more frustrating than anything when you ran out of lives and had to continue. And here they have checkpoints. So when you hit a checkpoint, you will just respawn back at it. But it adds a little bit of risk-reward, where you can actually destroy the checkpoints. And if you do, you get a little bit more score, and in this, all the score is money, which is another improvement they made on NES games, is that an NES score was pretty much useless unless you were playing for high score, which nobody really did. That was more of an arcade thing. On home systems and when you're playing games by yourself, you don't really care about score so much, at least I don't. I know some people might, but And here they make your score your money, which allows you to buy items, which makes it a lot more, actually gives you a reason to care about how much you score. So let me see. I think to get this, I have to bounce off this guy. There we go. And there's a blob. Oh, no, I don't want to break those. There we go. There we go. Aha. Okay. And we got a wall chicken. Break that. So I didn't want to break these blocks, because if you break those blocks, you can't get into this wall and get that money. These blobs are annoying. But yeah, when you die, it actually adds a little bit of like a Dark Souls kind of thing. When you die, you have money bags fly out of your body. Oh, here's a checkpoint. So the risk reward with the checkpoints is I can just smash this. Oh, it won't let me do it in the tutorial. In the regular levels, you can smash those. Trust me, you can. And if you smash them, you get a bunch of extra money, which is good, but then they're gone forever. So if you try and complete the level and you die, you will go back to the checkpoint before that one. You won't actually have activated it, so you have to go through even more of the level, and hopefully you'll make it in that run. There's multiple checkpoints per level, though, so it's not too big of a deal. Like, the most I've seen in a level so far, I think, is 8. Whoop. Oh man, the music in this too. That's another thing. The music in this, it's I actually wrote an article on all the ways they tried to make the game feel like an NES game, and one of them was they kind of cheated on the music, but not really. In the later Famicom games, it's carts for Konami games. At near the end of the Famicom life cycle, they added some extra chips that allowed you to have 3 more channels of audio, which allowed them to have more instruments going on in the music. So that's how they modeled their music, is for the later generations of Famicom. Oh, there we go. The later generations of Famicom carts, so that the music is true to that. Oh yeah, there's another secret down there, I forgot. So all the music is very genuine, and it's actually really good. And the best thing about this, I think, is that it's not really aping... It's its own thing. It's not like aping other NES games. It's definitely made in the style, but everything about the game is really pretty much its own. Like, it uses a lot of the tropes, like you're collecting gems and gold to get money for score, but the score isn't the same thing. And it uses like a magic meter, which a lot of games used to use, but, you know, that's just kind of a trope of the system of the times. Whoop, here we go. Bouncy, bouncy. It's a whole lot of fun to just bounce on enemies, and they design levels around that too to get some secrets. You have to bounce on like a huge series of enemies just to get into areas. Man, it's just so much fun to like bounce around. So that dragon we fought earlier had no risk to it. This one, we have a pit. But now we know that he moves back and forth. And then he disappears when we kill him. So now we knew from fighting him before that we had to avoid that pit. And if we didn't learn that, well, we would have learned it the hard way. Oh, see here? Well, good example. See, a bunch of my gold just fell. I'll fall back to the previous checkpoint. So now I should have to fight this dragon again, I think. Oh no, am I past that? No, I'm right before it. Alright, we're just ignore that guy. Bounce. And there we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight the dragon again, but it's not too bad. We should be able to grab our monies if we survive this. Oh no! I don't know if it's showing up in the recording or not, but your character actually flashes every other frame when I'm running at 60 FPS, and when your character gets hit, he flashes every other frame for a while, just like in an NES game. The problem is, with my recording setup, it's recording at 30 frames per second, so he might actually seem like he's just gone for a while, which is something you actually see if you watch people do recordings of old NES games and their character gets hit. You'll actually see the character just disappear for a while, and that's what's caused by it. When something flashes at the out of sync with the recording software, oh man, I need to get that. They'll just disappear off screen. So I don't know if that's going to show up in my recording or not. It's kind of a hit or miss kind of thing, but it'd be cool if you could see that. Just shows how genuine it really is to what they're trying to do. Dig up more of these. But the game itself, the story is, it's like not, it's not like some deep, epic thing. It's just a silly video game story, which is really cool. It's really all about gameplay and game feel. And it really does it justice. The story is basically you come to a town, there's a bunch of evil knights. Well, the Shovel Knight's been gone for a long time, and then the Shield Knight, your best buddy, maybe your lover, it's hard to tell. She disappears, and all these evil knights have taken hold in their own castles, and now you have to go and defeat them. I think we're at a boss here. Yep, the Black Shovel Knight. I knew you showed your face sooner or later, the cerulean coward. Turn back, Shovel Knight. There's nothing here for you anymore. Stand aside, Black Knight. I have no quarrel with you. I must return to the Tower of Fate. I believe that's the tower in the background right there. Did I mention the backgrounds are gorgeous? They also take advantage of the ability for modern machines to have several layers of parallax in the background. Whereas like the NES, you only had like basically one layer. What they do is they implement up to like 6. So there's a lot of really cool motion happening in the background, even though it's still 2D and parallaxing. So this guy's just the like tutorial boss. He's actually, it's not that hard, but I could screw it up because I'm talking. No, almost got. He even moves kind of like, I forget his name. Is that Gemini from Mega Man 3? That's what his attacks remind me of. I don't know if that's accurate. It could be a different boss I'm thinking of, but he definitely moves like a Mega Man boss. Nope. You can actually deflect magic. There we go. If you attack their magic spells at the right moment, it'll bounce back at them. And depending on the spell, it'll either shoot right back at them, or it'll lob towards them. And he runs away. I haven't beaten this game yet, but I assume it becomes a boss rush. I know we'll probably see him again. And then we get a cool little dream sequence. I don't know. This game's great. If you're sick of pixel art games, sorry. Oh, I got a catcher. Uh-oh, I missed. There we go. And you wake up. Those sections, it depends. I don't know exactly what causes it, but sometimes you'll have... Oh yeah, I gotta wake up my own. Sometimes you'll get those after defeating a boss, and sometimes you won't. And then when you do later, there's like other enemies there that you have to avoid, and you have to catch her before she hits the ground. I don't know what you get from that. So now we go into Super Mario Bros. 3, where we have a world map. We'll just stop in the village. Halt, no weapons. We have enough to worry about. Yeah, I have a shovel. So you hit up to talk to people. Cause no trouble. And this is where all the Kickstarter backers live. One of the tiers was get a character of you in the game, and they all live in town. I'm gonna actually, when you collect those music sheets and levels, it's a optional side objective most of the time. And this guy will buy them, and that kind of creates a music test, like on old NES games where you could play all the music from the game from the menu. It's kind of just sitting here instead. It's through this character. So if you find all the music sheets, you tell them to play you a song. This is actually all the music we've heard so far, and there's quite a lot of songs. I think 44. Yeah, 46 songs. So we can play back anything we want, like Strike the Earth, the boss music we just heard. And that'll keep playing throughout the town. But these are all in the background. These are all the characters that the Kickstarter backers chose to be represented as. So one of the things you can do is there is the gastronomer and the enchanter. If you buy a meal ticket from this guy, he will allow you to give it to the gastronomer, and he'll cook you a meal. And when he cooks you a meal, he gives you +1 to your total health. So I'll end up having 5 health orbs, which is great. The food looks different every time. Yeah, that's like a salad, soup and a salad, like mixed together. And down here is like the tavern, and these guys are all like, please help us. And this character just tells you all your stats. So number of dig piles you've dug is 7, so I've dug 7. Amount of gold I've collected, number of times I've fallen in battle. Basically all the stats you'd find in a stat screen, but it's like given to you by character. Also, there's a secret here. Not really a secret. If you talk to her, you can play a mini game. I don't really want to do that. So let's head back through here. And in here, you'll find this guy who will sell you a spell. So I'm going to buy a spell from him just so I can show you how it works. Oh, you can buy a fishing rod too. I'm going to buy both. So I'll pop a Chaos Orb. And I'll buy the fishing rod. You may notice this guy. He worships the Triple King. And from him you can buy a vessel that allow you to be blessed by the Triple King. I will not spoil that for you. It is amazing. You have to buy one of these and go to a certain spot on the map, and you are treated to a little musical section, which is actually really good. So I'm going to go to the next level, and hopefully I'll be able to show off fishing. There's also another music sheet up here, which I don't really need. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to show you that. So there's a music sheet up there with a treasure chest. I won't spoil that for you. I'm just going to go to the next level and show you something else. So we can't actually continue onward. We can either go to the Spectre Knight or the King Knight. And that's the Trouble Pond. And these are locks. You have to beat these first two castles before you continue on to the next one. I'm just going to go to King Knight stage. Which, oh man, the sky, I love, like, the gold with the purple in the back and the green. It's all complementary colors. It all looks so good. The music is so freaking good. I don't know, this game's great. It's $15. It's on Steam. It's also on GOG. It's also, like, available everywhere on the planet. Like, consoles, handhelds. Actually, no, it's not. This is actually only being released, one of the reward tiers was having it released on Nintendo platforms, and they only have it on Nintendo platforms. I forgot about that. That's awesome. So it's on PC and Nintendo platforms, which is fantastic. It's actually really cool. I forgot about that. Sorry about the misinformation there, but geez. Alright, so here's a fishing hole. I'm gonna dig this up really quick. And the fishing rod takes up the same spot as a spell slot, so we have to hold up and X to fish. And when the exclamation points proc, hopefully, we'll catch a fish. We'll reel them up and grab them, and that's extra money. Sometimes it's not just fish. Hint, hint. And, yeah, man, this game's great. That's all I really got to say about it. 15 bucks, Steam, Nintendo platforms. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna keep playing this. See you later.